Welcome back to the vlog. It's week 2, and this week, or the week since last vlog, it's been a really good week. I'm feeling better in myself, I'm less tired, and yeah, it's been a great week since the last time I was on here. So that was last Wednesday, and since then, you know, the walking's continued, just a lot faster walking, a lot longer, which has been great. And we'll dive into the rides as well. But you know, Thursday, Friday, just nice and chilled, just getting the walks out 3 times a day, once in the morning, again out again at lunchtime, and then again in the evenings, just you know, a bit of fresh air. The dog's loving it. I don't think he's ever had as many walks in a day. He's had walks, but not 3 or 4 times a day. So he's, you know, biting at the bit again to get out and get walking, and he's very happy to be walking again. Into the weekend, we headed off to the local nature reserve. It had rained overnight into the morning quite heavily, but hey, he likes the rain and he definitely likes the mud. So we did a 6-7 kilometre hike on between 6 and 7 kilometres on Saturday, while he got thoroughly muddy, which he loved. But yeah, so Saturday, that was Saturday afternoon, or into late morning, early afternoon, really, just in that period where it was just dry enough and warm enough, really, to get out, although, you know, every layer was going on as the temperature has been dipping and dipping here in the UK. So yeah, Saturday, then Sunday morning, got up and did my longest Zone 2 ride since the surgery. So it's Sunday morning, and I'm just coming up to the end of my longest ride since the accident, indoors obviously. The 50 minutes when I'm done, just like really low Zone 2. Yeah, 50 minutes and stuff, watching this guy, his documentary around perimeter of Britain. It's been a great watch, perfect time and length for the workout. And yeah, going well. I say Zone 2 just above Zone 1, where I've lowered my FTP by, I don't know the exact science, but I asked the computer to do it and it said lower it by 30 watts. So that's what I've done for the time being. So yeah, so it's like 160 watts, which is, you know, what used to be Zone 1. It's probably where my bottom end of Zone 2 is at the moment. And just did that for 50 minutes. It's the longest I've done. I felt great afterwards. I stuck on Chris Hall's Perimeter of the UK documentary. It turned out it was the perfect length of documentary for a 50-minute ride. And it was a fascinating watch as well. So if you haven't watched that, go and watch that. And yeah, give him a thumbs up as well. And yeah, so that was Sunday, and then had another walk in the afternoon, a drier walk, a shorter walk, just in another local woods around here, where there's plenty of woods, plenty of trails to go and see, depending on the weather, if you want mud, if you want gravel. And actually the woods we were in on Sunday, I'd never walked in before, but turns out it's on one of the trails from Canterbury to Whitstable. And you can actually dive off into the woods onto the gravel path. So once I'm allowed back outside on the bike, which will be January, I'm definitely going to be heading up there with the gravel bike and going around that, because it looks great. It will look like it would be great on the bike. And do a little loop up there and come back. It's all within 10 kilometres of the house. It's perfect. Just as I build back up on the bike, avoiding the mad southeastern Kent roads and all of their drivers at the moment. So that was Sunday, and then yeah, Monday was just a chill day, obviously working during the day as I'm phasing back in with work, adding bits and, you know, building up that to do a full day at work. I'm nearly there now, which is good. I don't feel tired, although, you know, I don't sit on meetings for 2 hours and then go into that's still quite tiring. So having to break up the day into manageable chunks is what I've been doing. Tuesday, super easy day. Again, work during the day, and then I just jumped on the bike early evening, and it was just a nice little 40-minute recovery spin. Again, stuck something on Netflix. I can't even remember what I watched. It was just something there that wasn't looking at the screen of someone cycling. I just put that on my computer out the corner and just stuck something on the TV and just watched that until it said workout finished. But the great thing about Tuesday's ride, so yesterday's ride, was my heart rate stayed where it should be. Especially the first week back and then the rides at the weekend, it was slightly higher or much higher than what it's usually been in zone 1 and zone 2. And yes, I'm indoors, so I know it's always going to be higher than being outdoors. But this was the first time it stayed in zone 1 the whole time, with a little bit of drift, which I think over the next few weeks, I'll dive into how we got to this training plan and what I'm looking to get out of it, and how we put this together. But yeah, there was very little drift between the start and the finish, which is what I was hoping for. I can't be going up towards the 170s, 180s like I was the first week back when doing zone 2, but that's a good sign. The heart rate's coming down, which means my body's getting better internally, because externally I look fine now, apart from my tooth, which hopefully you can't see because I'm not a big fan, but that's going to get fixed hopefully soon. But yeah, that was Tuesday, and then Wednesday this week was my birthday, so I just chilled. I did a very, very short ride. It was 25 minutes, I think. Just an optional spin that I'd had in my plan. Just did that. I had a lazy morning. I had a nice breakfast. I got up, went out with the dog. It was sleeting yesterday morning, or this morning. Yes, Wednesday morning. Sorry, I'm recording this on Thursday this week. Sleeting, so we waited a bit. Me and Monty went out for a nice walk. And then we just spent the afternoon. I did a little ride, just chilling. I had a beer for the first time, which was great. Just the one for that during the day, just because I had my day off. It was my birthday. And then in the evening, we headed over to a Sri Lankan restaurant about 10 miles away. And if I'd known how big the portion sizes were going to be, I wouldn't have ordered as many starters, let's put it that way. But the food was amazing. Due to the weather, the weather was freezing cold, it was blowing a gale, you had to sort of lean into it to walk into the restaurant, and I think that was the reason why it was quite quiet in there. There's maybe 4 tables of people, but the food was amazing. I'll stick a picture of it up here just so you can see what I think. It was really well done. Having been to Sri Lanka twice before, it captured everything of the food in Sri Lanka. It was never going to be exactly the same as Sri Lanka, of the fresh prawns coming straight off the boat onto the barbecue and onto your plate. That was never going to be the case in the UK, but it was spot on. So I'll definitely be going back. I found out they do breakfasts there, so I'll be heading back for a Sri Lankan egg hopper breakfast, no doubt, because they were amazing. And then yeah, just chilling. Thursday back at work, and now I'm recording this. It's a day later than before, but just thought I captured the whole week. Yeah, it's been a really, really good week. I've not felt too tired. I'm still getting tired. Last night at my birthday, definitely ate too much. I couldn't finish all the food, and that's still because my stomach's getting used to eating like main meals again. Whereas before I was sort of just picking. Got to be careful with the tablets. Obviously, I can't eat an hour before taking them or 2 hours after taking them, as in large meals. So timing the meals throughout the day, like when's breakfast, when's lunch, when's dinner, is quite important. So I can make sure I can have my tablets at the right times, but I can snack. So I've been snacking throughout the day. I've almost turned into a hobbit with my snacks, which is fine, but then you want to be able to have a full meal as well. But yeah, it's all going really well. This from Friday onwards, so for the next week before I do the next vlog, the rides are going to start building up even more, which is exciting. We're heading out on Saturday for some more birthday celebrations, where I'm sure I'll bring the camera along to that as well. But until then, thanks for tuning in, and see you next week. Ciao.